Uterus is a pyriform shape, thick-walled muscular organ capable of expansion to accommodate the growing fetus. Measures 9 cm in length, 6.5 cm width, 3.5 cm in thickness. 3 to 2 into 1. Uterus develops from the para-mesonephric duct, Hungarian duct. It weighs 1 ounce 60 gram. It is connected distally to the vagina and laterally to the uterine tubes. The uterine has 3 parts: fundus, top of the uterus, above the entry point of the uterine tubes. Body, usual site for the implementation of the cervix, lower part of the uterus linking it with the vagina. This part is structurally and functionally different to the rest of the uterus. Anatomical position. The exact anatomical position of the uterus varies with the degree of the distension of the bladder. In the normal adult uterus, it can be described as anteverted with respect to the vagina and antiflexed with respect to the cervix. Anteverted, rotated forward towards the anterior surface of the body. Flexed towards the anterior surface of the body. Thus, the uterus normally lies immediately posterior superior to the bladder and anterior to the rectum. The lining epithelium of the uterus is columnar. Before menarche, the cells are ciliated, but thereafter, most of the cells may not have peritoneum, double-layered membrane continuous with the abdominal peritoneum, also known as perimetrium. Myometrium, thick smooth muscle layer. Cells of this layer undergo the hypertrophy and hyperplasia during the pregnancy in preparation to expel the fetus at birth. Endometrium, inner mucous membrane lining the uterus. It can be further subdivided into 2 parts. Deep stratum basilis changes the little throughout the menstrual cycle and it is not shed at the menstruation. Superficial stratum functionalis proliferates in response to the estrogen and becomes secretory in response to the progesterone. It is shed during the menstruation and regenerates from the cell in the stratum basilis layer. Ligaments: pelvic diaphragm, uterus erector ligament, and transverse cervical ligament are the primary support of uterus. The tone of the pelvic floor provides the primary support for the uterus. Some ligaments provide the further support, securing the uterus in place. Broad ligament. This is the double layer of the peritoneum attached the sides of the uterus to the pelvis. It acts as a mesentery for the uterus and contributes to maintaining it in the position or to now provide the primary support. Fallopian tube. Upper portion, round ligament anteriorly, ovarian ligament, posterior fold, vestigial structures of the Wolffian body, apophoron and the paraphoron, vestigial structure of the Wolffian duct, Gardner's duct. Ureter, uterine vessel, pelvic nerves, parametrial lymph nodes, pelvic cellular tissue, condensed to form the Mechandroth ligament. Infundibulopelvic ligament. Round ligament, the remnant of the gubernaculum, extending from the uterine horns to the labia majora via the superficial inguinal ring. It functions to maintain the anteverted position of the uterus. Ovarian ligament joins the ovaries to the uterus. Cardinal ligament, located at the base of the broad ligament. The cardinal ligament extends from the cervix to the lateral pelvic walls. It contains the uterine artery and vein in addition to providing support to the uterus. Uterus sacral ligament extends from the cervix to the sacrum. It provides a primary support to the uterus. Supports to the genital organs. Level structure. Uterus sacral ligaments and the cardinal ligaments support the uterus and the vaginal vault. Pelvic fascias and the paracarpus, which connects the vagina to the white line on the lateral pelvic wall through the arcus tendineus. Levator ani muscles support the lower 1/3 of the vagina. Blood supply and the lymphatics, uterine and the ovarian artery. Venous drainage is via the plexus in the broad ligament that drain into the uterine veins. Lymphatic drainage, iliac, sacral, para-aortic and the inguinal lymph nodes. Innervation of the uterus. The sympathetic nerve fibers of the uterus arise from the uterovaginal plexus. This largely comprises the anterior and the intermediate parts of the inferior hypogastric plexus. The parasympathetic fibers of the uterus are derived from the pelvic splenic nerves S2 to S4. The cervix is largely innervated by the inferior nerve fibers of the uterovaginal plexus. The afferent fibers mostly ascend through the inferior hypogastric plexus to enter the spinal cord via T10 to T12 and the L1 nerve fibers.